Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea. Which way to turn here? After what we saw yesterday with the Fed Derby, I guess we could do the Federal Reserve. We had Glenn Hubbard on. Frankly, he's on my short list to be the next chairman. We talked to him about the Fed, but with where tariffs are and where the numbers are working out, it's really a lot of math going on among tariff experts. We're going from 3% out to somewhere 10%, no higher. 15%, no higher. It's a shocking move. Glenn Hubbard of Columbia Business School on our new tariffs.
Tariffs are a tax. They're not really inflationary. They're one-time changes in the price level. I wouldn't recommend them, but I don't think inflation is the biggest reason. I think the reason is you're taxing and distorting supply chains. People forget two basic things. One, a tax on imports is actually a tax on exports. And the reason for that is two, one, movements in the dollar, and second, the fact that American imports are largely intermediate goods. You hurt manufacturing by doing it. The second point is it's not the current account, it's the capital account. All the current account is the mirror of the capital account. You can put all the tariffs you want on. You're not going to change the current account until you change the capital account.
Bottle it. What you just heard was an absolute perfect dissertation from one of our leading students of the supply side. I can't say enough. Go back and listen to that 2 or 3 times. Glenn Hubbard on the linkage of imports to exports, and he absolutely crushes the Trump certitude of the current account deficit. Just golden there. From Glenn Hubbard, I'll editorialize always on my short list of qualified Federal Reserve candidates. Frances Donald is with RBC, the Royal Bank of Canada. Frances Donald here again on tariffs.
The full impact, the full story, the full study of tariffs, I don't think we're going to feel comfortable saying how meaningful this was on the U.S. economy until late into 2026. Why? Because there's a significant process in play here. There was massive front loading into the economy. Inventories are very, very high. Those inventories need to be depleted before we start seeing imports at those higher tariff levels. Then you have to make an assumption of who's going to end up paying for that. Is it going to be producers or the importers themselves? How much of that cost is going to get passed on to the consumer at the end of the story? So there are two most important macro questions in play right now for an economist is how long does it take for inventories to be depleted? We think about 5 months. It matters greatly which sector you're in and how much is going to get passed on to the consumer. And if I may, Tom, let me push back. I hear a lot. I don't think consumers are going to take the brunt of this. Producers or businesses are going to absorb the entirety of it. Is that really bullish? Do we really like the story that businesses are going to see all of the tariff impact, that they won't pass it on to the consumer? Because if businesses are taking on that tariff impact, that means margin compression for them, and they're going to have to cut costs in other way.
Frances Donald in market economics. What a great juxtaposition there. You have the academic economics of Glenn Hubbard, and they're the market economics of Frances Donald of RBC. I love how she goes to the x-axis. She's taking the tariff impact way out from OMG, what happens in July, out into late this year or even into next year. Very few are talking up that angle. On podcasts nationwide, on Apple, on Spotify, indeed worldwide on Spotify. Thank you so much for that, particularly in the Philippines and the Pacific Rim. And on YouTube podcasts, it's Single Best Idea.